Dad, thanks for picking up. It's an emergency. 1982 America thinks that rolling dice and playing D&D causes schizophrenia, and I have the movie to prove it. No, Dad, not One Flew Over the Poo-Poo's Nest. I'm talking about Mazes and Monsters. Why Mazes and Monsters? Because Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game.
See? Alrighty, thank you for joining us on the channel. This is Same Crit Different Day, and it is your boy Kev, the what? The 3DM, your dirty dog dungeon master. And today we're going to be talking about a movie that is based on a book that is loosely based on a crime that blames everything on Dungeons and Dragons and the Satanic Panic and heavy metal music and all that fun stuff. So today we are talking about the 1982 movie Mazes and Monsters, starring your boy Tom Hanks. This is back when he was 26 years old, pre-Forrest Gump, back when Hollywood looked at him and said, hey, this young handsome man looks like he could play a mentally unraveling D&D cleric, a young holy man. And that he did, and I'm gonna be honest, this movie actually turned out to be really good. It fucking sucks. It blows so much ass, and if you don't believe me, here's the trailer.
Tom Hanks and his friends get caught up in a deadly game of fantasy.
I am the maze controller.
Until they take it too far.
I propose we play Mazes and Monsters in a real setting. It won't be a fantasy.
Too bad for one of them, because now there's no turning back.
This is only a game.
I know, I killed somebody.
Mazes and Monsters.
Before we laugh at this movie, we do need to talk about the real story that it is based on, because it is absolutely tragic, and it is what inspired the book and the movie to be created. We have James Dallas Egbert III. He's a brilliant but troubled teenager. He was born in Dayton, Ohio. He is a child prodigy. He gets into Michigan State University at the age of 15 to study computer sciences. But behind the smarts, he was dealing with a lot of problems behind the scenes, such as depression, loneliness, drug use, and rumors of his sexual identity was something he struggled with as well. And in August 1979, during a rough patch in his life, he left his dorm after leaving a suicide note, and he went down into the university's steam tunnels, which was a network of different maintenance passages under the campus. He took a dose of meth. He intended to end his life there. However, that didn't work. He ended up waking up, and he leaves the tunnels, and then he goes and stays with some friends for a couple weeks before returning home. News broke that he played Dungeons and Dragons, so of course the whole thing began that, well, he played D&D. D&D forced him to go try to kill himself. And a private investigator that was hired by his parents, they publicly suggested that, well, maybe he wandered into the tunnels because he was playing Dungeons and Dragons and that was part of the game, which is not how that works at all. And then the press, they run with the idea. They're like, yeah, that had to be it. It doesn't matter that he might have some mental issues or that he's depressed and lonely and doing drugs, or he's like 3 to 4 years younger than everyone that he's in school with. It can't be that. It has to be that he plays D&D. That is the only explanation. And I'm pretty sure he was listening to Twisted Sister at some point. He might have heard it on the radio once. So this theory grabbed the public's attention. They ran with it. They were blaming D&D, blaming music, and even though there's no real evidence behind this whatsoever, they still went with it, and he wasn't even lost in the tunnels. He did go down there to end his life, but after he woke up, he went into hiding, and they just started acting like, no, he went down there because he's playing D&D. He's still down there adventuring. He's adventuring, trying to find the treasure, and that is not at all what happened. So now D&D is looked at as like this very evil, satanic thing, causing kids to go crazy and end their lives and all this wild stuff. However, eventually, the private investigator, he is able to track him down, and then after they find him, they bring him back to his parents' house, and he's back in his family's care. However, it doesn't matter because that story and that theory already did damage, so now people are running with it like, oh, D&D caused this kid to go disappearing in the tunnels. He disappeared and died down there, and there's theories that like he went down there and like adventured until he died and all this stuff. So the huge panic is going on, and it even inspired the 1981 novel Mazes and and Monsters, which led to the 1982 TV adaptation, which we will be talking about, a cautionary tale suggesting that the game could blur reality and fantasy. But in reality, like we said, the game had nothing to do with his struggles or his death. And tragically, his struggles continued even after he returned home. About a year later, since the steam tunnel incidents, he ends up committing suicide, and that would be in August of 1980. So while Mazes and Monsters used his tragic story to kind of dramatize fear about D&D, it was actually the story about a young man dealing with trauma, with mental health and pressure, loneliness and pain. It had nothing to do with the fantasy game that led him to schizophrenia or all this wild shit out there. So yeah, instead of addressing like depression and loneliness, isolation and all that stuff, America was like, no, fuck it. It was the dice. It was the dice and goblins. It was definitely the Nagas in the sewers. What was it? It was the Nagas. It was the dice. There's no way it was his mental health issues. There's no way it was about a lonely kid in college. Nope, it was the dice. It was the Nagas. So that is the horrible and tragic backstory where instead of anyone helping this kid out, they blame D&D. Tom Hanks gets a starring role, and we get a movie and a book based on it. So you're probably wondering, where can I watch this cinematic masterpiece? If you're wondering if it's available free on YouTube, the answer is yes. If you're wondering if it's on Tubi, of course the answer is yes. Tubi or not Tubi, of course it's on Tubi. Is it buried on a VHS tape behind the Blockbuster I used to work at for a week before they got shut down while I was stacking copies of Juno? Yes, it is also there. And today we're going to watch it on Tubi. There we go, Tubi. So alrighty, the movie opens up with sirens and cops, ambulances, like a fucking nuclear reactor just melted down, and the reporter says,
live from Pequod Campus, where I'll be reporting on the apparent disappearance of a Grant University student, the victim of a seemingly innocent game.
But which board game? Was it Monopoly committing arson over Boardwalk? Nope, not that one. Is it Connect 4 blowing up a school bus? What about Hungry Hungry Hippos sending a man into psychosis? Absolutely not. It was definitely Mazes and Monsters causing schizophrenia in a mentally unstable boy. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. We have a winner.
Mazes and Monsters. Now, Mazes and Monsters is a fantasy role-playing game in which the players create an imaginary character. These characters are then plunged into a fantasy world of invented terrors. The point of the game is to amass a fortune without being killed. It's kind of a psychodrama, you might say, where these people deal with problems in their lives by acting them out. But in this case, there might be a loss of distinction between reality and fantasy, and possibly the loss of life in the process. I'll be back in 3 minutes with another live report.
So that sounds pretty familiar, right? Like the backstory we talked about. And then we quickly learn that according to the reporter, a game of Mazes and Monsters has gotten out of hand. So then for some reason we get an opening credit where it's a montage of just this taxi driving around the city. We're following the taxi. And then we get hit with an M. Night Shyamalan twist 6 months earlier. And then we see a guy get out of a taxi with a goofy fucking hat on. Why is he wearing that hat? I have no idea why he has his hat on. But this kid, I guess his thing is his mom is always changing his room around and always changing stuff in his life. So as his way to deal with that, he wears hats. Okay, cool, dude. And then we get introduced to our main cast. We got a bunch of young college kids. They all have problems at home. We have JJ, the guy wearing the hats. He's marginalized by his mother, who constantly redecorates his room. And, she cannot make up her mind about the best look. And she's like, hey, how about this one? And he's like, it looks like a fucking hospital, Mom. She's like, yeah, well, you're already going to go crazy because you're playing D&D, so might as well give you the room that fits it.
I worked my tail off to get this finished in time.
Where's all my stuff? My furniture?
I can tell you don't like it.
Don't like it? I hate it.
JJ, do you know how many of my clients would give their eye teeth for a Julia Brockway room like this?
Your clients put their eye teeth in a glass of water every night.
You are still a fresh kid.
Mother, this is my sanctuary, my nest. When you change it like this, which you do every time I turn my back, you obliterate me. You wipe me out. It's just driving me crazy.
So we have Kate, and her big problem is dealing with a bunch of failed relationships. Her father left home as well, so she's dealing with those problems. Daniel, he has dreams of becoming a video game designer, but his parents are like, you dumb shit, you're not going to do that. We don't need that. We need programmers, not video game programmers, you dumbass. So we have Robbie, whose mother's an alcoholic, and then his father's just kind of an asshole. And I know it's not funny. We'll play a scene right here because real people deal with this, but they're just driving him to school, and they're just talking about stuff that his dad is just like, I wish you wouldn't fucking drink.
Robbie, you're starting new at Grant. That means no more games. You know what it did to your marks at Tufts. This time you're going to concentrate on your schoolwork, do you hear?
Yeah, I know, Dad. I will.
I see another D, you don't see another check.
Oh, Hall, leave him alone.
And you've had too much to drink. Again.
Threats and accusations, that's all you know.
I should have driven Robbie up myself.
Oh, you should. Well, may I remind you, whether you like it or not, we are still a family.
I hate it when you drink.
I drink to get through the day.
And then we learn later that Tom Hanks had a brother who disappeared. I think he disappeared during his birthday party one night. And yeah, he just vanishes and he's gone forever. So Robbie's having nightmares about it. And then also, Robbie was kicked out of his last school because he was playing Mazes and Monsters. And I guess he was like getting too into it. So they kicked him out because he became too obsessed with it. The main story is that these three kids at college are trying to find a fourth member for their D&D group, and luckily they meet Robbie. But I think the movie messes up here because it's trying to portray that Mazes and Monsters turns you crazy. Like, it legit is trying to say, like, oh, you get schizophrenia from playing Mazes and Monsters. But then it, shows the backstory of all these kids, and they're already all fucked up, so... And alrighty, maybe I'm too dumb to get this, but we're 12 minutes in, and this kid has already gone through almost as many hats as my D&D party has backup characters. There's just so many fucking hats, and I don't get it. I don't know why. So alright, so now we got JJ, we have his animal companions in the form of hats, we have Daniel and Kate, and the three of them are at college, and they keep talking about how they need to find a fourth member, one that is not going to freak out or flunk out like the last guy. And this is when they meet 26-year-old actor Tom Hanks playing Robbie Wheeling. So JJ, he's sitting in the cafeteria. He's just looking around, watching people, hoping someone will go look at the bulletin board that says, hey, we need a fourth player. Doesn't anyone look at the fucking bulletin board? And then he's kind of just staring at this black guy eating his lunch like he's never seen a black person before. But it's just why is he staring at that guy for so long? And then hook, line, and stinker, Tom Hanks, he walks over to the bulletin board and he sees it and he's looking at it. However, we have bad news. Robbie doesn't play anymore. And they treat D&D like heroin here. They're like, come on, Robbie, just one more game. Come on, just play one more game. Remember that feeling? Remember rolling them 20s? You remember how that felt? All those natural 20s, baby? They really do treat it like it's a drug, like a horrible addiction. Because later on at the party, once Tom Hanks mentions that his character's level 9, I swear to God, everyone at that party, they just start blowing their loads everywhere. It's level 9? Whoa! And it's so easy and clear to tell that the writers and creators of this have never played D&D before because they're like, come on, Robbie, give in to the peer pressure. Remember chasing that high of slaying monsters and rolling dice, getting all that treasure, getting all that pussy from playing D&D? None of this shit happens, but they're like, come on, man, think of how good it's gonna feel. It's like you're trying to get an addict to relapse is really how they deal with this.
Why didn't you go to class?
Well, I was into some extracurricular activities. I played a game called Mazes and Monsters a little too much.
You're kidding. What level?
You messed them all up.
Nice
Something's
level.
sticking up here.
So am I.
Oh.
Isn't it wonderful to be finally creating your own scenarios?
Yeah, and your own fantasies, too. I'm really gonna miss it.
No, you're not. We have been looking desperately for a fourth player. This is wonderful. Daniel, I want you to meet Daniel. Daniel, meet Robbie. He's level 9.
Hey, you gonna play with us?
Well, no, I can't. My folks.
Hey, we're not fanatics.
Well, how often do you play?
A couple times a week.
No, I really have to crack the books.
JJ,
Really? No,
come here.
seriously.
He's
I mean,
level 9.
Level 9? You didn't tell me that. Oh, well, sign him up.
no, I can't. This semester I have to.
No,
really
you
start.
can.
Look, please just try one campaign with us.
Yeah.
Really, good guys. Thanks.
Come on,
No,
Robbie.
and if you don't like it, if it's too much, you can always quit.
Well, you're gonna be already there. I guess I'll have to give it a shot.
All right.
You got some glasses?
Yes.
And what is up with like the level talk? This is not how D&D works at all. This isn't what podcasting is. But it's like, yo, you're level 9? Hey, you guys hear that? He's level 9. And you can just hear everyone blowing their loads at the table, blowing their loads at the party, everywhere. Level 9? They're like, oh man, when can we sign you into the group? Let's sign you up right now, dude. But yeah, they're all amazed that he's like level 9. Like, you just bring your old character to every new campaign you play. Like, that's not how it works. That's not how D&D works at all. Maybe how your cousin cheats, Carl. But that's not how you play D&D. And it's so funny, man. When they're like, hey, you guys hear that? He's level 9. The whole fucking party stops. So everyone can just blow their loads everywhere at the thought of Tom Hanks being a level 9 cleric. Oh my God, he's level 9. Blow the loads. Blow the loads. Get the towels. Get the chamois. So alrighty, now we get to see their first session together. We get to meet their characters. Fun stuff. There's lots of candles everywhere, which is actually very impressive. I kind of like the scenes where they're actually sitting there playing. Like when they're speaking and talking in character, it's not that bad. It's like the most interesting parts of the movie.
I am the maze controller, the god of this universe I have created, the absolute authority. Only I know the perilous course which you are about to take. Your fate is in my hands.
I am Glacia the fighter. I have great strength and courage, strong armor, many weapons, and I have won the mighty talking sword of Lothian.
I am Freelick, the frenetic of Glossamere, the cleverest of all sprites. Not so strong, with enough tricks and powers to take me far and keep me safe.
I am Pardieu, a holy man. In reaching the 9th level, I have acquired many magic spells and charms, the greatest of which is the Graven Eye of Timur. But I also have a sword, which I only use should my magic fail me.
So the group of friends, they start playing Mazes and Monsters, and then Kate and Robbie, they begin to have a romantic relationship. Hell yeah, brother. That's how you know that the writers don't know anything about D&D, because immediately 2 of the players start fucking. And speaking of brother, we learned that Robbie has a missing brother here. So that's when he's like, yes, I'm having nightmares about my missing brother. And then JJ is like, hey, what the hell? These guys are dating? Well, that's lame. That's not fair. Tom Hanks is getting puss. He's getting snatched, and all I have are these fucking lame-ass hats. Well, I guess I'm going to kill myself. And that's literally what the movie does. They're like, well, since things aren't going as good for him, I'll just kill myself now.
We're all alone in the world. You know that, don't you? It's just you and me.
Let's get talk.
Maybe I should smash my motorbike into the dorm wall. It's too ordinary. They think it was just an accident.
You know that no Grant University student has ever committed suicide?
What could I do? There's gotta be this stuff that legends are made of. I want them to remember J.J. Brockway. I know. The caverns. The mysterious forbidden Peakwood Caverns. Boy genius, suicides in caverns.
So yeah, that's his plan. He's like, well, I'm just going to go into the local cavern to kill myself. And wait a minute, not so fast. Because as he's exploring the cavern, he's like, wow, this would be a fun place to realistically play Mazes and Monsters. I'm not going to kill myself because we can play Mazes and Monsters for real now. And in a weird way, Mazes and Monsters saves his life. She's like talking to his bird. He's like, yeah, did you know that no one here has ever committed suicide? I need to do it. I need to be the first one to do it, and I gotta do it in a cool way. So let me go explore the cavern and figure out a cool way to kill myself. So the next time they're playing Mazes and Monsters, JJ, he kills off his character in order to force a new campaign to begin, one in which he is the maze controller, where he'll be setting up the entire campaign.
Freelick jumps into the pit to gather the treasure. How much does Freelick get?
It's a trap.
No.
The pit is filled with sharp, gem-encrusted spikes. Freelick, the frenetic of Glossamere, is impaled and dies.
Pardieu, save him. Use your power to raise the dead.
Well, I can't. I don't have enough points to raise the dead.
Oh, hell.
Aw, JJ, that was really stupid, jumping into the pit without using your sonar first. Really stupid. Why did you do that?
Hey, cheer up, JJ. You can start again as a new character.
Oh, it'll take him forever to gather power.
Well, I didn't kill him.
Did so.
You weren't paying attention.
Hey, let's not fight about it.
Right, so what are we gonna do now?
I'd like to propose a new game. Kind of an evolution of Mazes and Monsters, but we'd be playing at a much more sophisticated level.
We're not finished with this game yet.
Yes, but it's not the same without Freelick.
Well, let's hear the idea.
He proposes, he's like, we're going to play a new game, one that is more realistic. We're going to go to the old cavern over there, and we're going to play this, like, for real. So his friends are reluctant at first, but they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. None of this makes any sense at all, because the real case was nothing like that. This is not what happened at all. No one played Mazes and Monsters or Dungeons and Dragons, then went crazy, then went in the caverns to kill themselves. But according to the book based on it, and the movie based on that book, this is what happened. And it's actually, like, impressive, like, how sad and traumatic that this was used for real, because, like, parents, churches, just people, the media watched this movie, read that book, and were like, yep, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. I one time when I was playing D&D when I was younger and I first started talking about how I was playing it, my mom had this friend and she's like, oh no, you can't be playing that. I one time had friends that played it. It opened up the sky turned red, and I just knew that it was the power of Satan doing it. She was telling me this when I was like 13. I was like, what the fuck? What a strange lady. But anyways, that's a true story. So now we get a montage of Robbie and Kate, and once again we get the only song that ever plays in this damn movie. That starts playing.
Whatever may happen, where the road may bend, always remember we are our special friends together. Whenever our lives may take us away, forever our memories will stay. Remember the good times, please remember me. Whatever.
And we learn that Robbie's brother's name is Hall Wheeler, which is a fucking dumbass name. Hey, this is my brother Hall. And it's Hall Wheeler Jr., so his dad's name is also Hall. All right, so his name is Hall. His brother disappeared either on Halloween or his birthday. I can't remember, but there's like a Halloween, and I think that later on when Tom Hanks' character leaves, it is during Halloween or something. They try to connect this in a very stupid way. We'll find out more later. But yeah, so Hall Wheeler, Halloween. Spoiler alert, the Great Hall. This is so dumb, but it is all connected in this movie. Very interesting. Not at all interesting. Ah, my tankard of joy. So Robbie tells Kate that in the middle of the night, he was awoken by his brother. And his brother was like, hey, I need all your money. I'm not robbing you. I'm running away to New York. And I'll keep in touch with you. Once I get there, I'll get in touch with you. However, his brother never got in touch with him. So they don't know what happened to his brother. He ran away. He died. They have no idea. But we do know that Tom Hanks is having these zero-budget nightmares, such as this one. And he always wakes up from them like he just had a wet dream. So that's pretty cool. He's probably dreaming at the end about him being a level 9. Blah, blah. And of course, we get this scene where we learn about the troubles of Daniel's life, where Daniel is he's too much of a fucking stud. That's like the biggest problem. He's like, man, you don't understand. There's so much pressure with everyone lying, saying I'm good at making out. That's like, you're talking to a guy who wants to kill himself, and your problem is, man, all these girls think I'm good at making out. No one behind this book or movie has played D&D. That's not a problem that any of us have. None of us have that problem.
Social life is no big deal.
Not for you, it isn't.
No, really. Everybody kids me about being the great makeout champion or something. You know what that does to any girl who's sensitive or caring? She's decided I'm bad news before I've had a chance to prove I'm not.
Yeah.
So I spend my time with strangers, one after another.
Oh, poor Daniel.
I wouldn't mind just having a girlfriend.
That would ruin your reputation.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And then sadly, we learned that the group hasn't played Mazes and Monsters in 3 days. Another example of how no one behind this movie knows what D&D is. 3 days? There's people that don't play for months. Scheduling is the biggest party killer and game killer of them all. Is getting everyone on the same schedule to be able to play. We haven't played in 3 days. I'm going fucking nuts here, brother. 3 days. JJ is talking to Danny. He's like, hey, can we play Wednesday? And Daniel's like, yeah, sure, that should work. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to go ask Kate. And then he goes to Kate's dorm, knocks on the door, and who is it but Robbie opens the door. And Robbie's like, dude, you nerd, you fucking square, we're busy. Me and Kate are fucking now. We ain't got time for D&D. But they end up scheduling and figuring out a day they can all play. So after JJ's big plan, the group now starts playing Mazes and Monsters for real in the nearby cavern. And I hate to say it, but playing D&D in a condemned cavern with all these candles and everything, is it dangerous? Yes. Is it illegal? Probably. But it's metal as hell. It's fucking awesome, and I love it. It looked awesome. The scenes where they're in this cave, I actually like. It looks like a ton of fun. But always remember the number one rule.
Beware of the sacrilege.
Wait, what?
Beware of the sacrilege.
I missed that.
Beware of the sacrilege.
The what?
Sacrilege.
What was that?
Sacrilege.
So this is where the movie accidentally gets awesome for a bit. It wasn't supposed to, but Tom Hanks, he starts hallucinating his dead brother, being murdered by a monster named Gorville, which comes out of nowhere. It's fucking awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's supposed to be the propaganda part where it's yo, he goes crazy. He's hallucinating. His brother was killed by Gorville, but it's fucking sweet. It's badass. And it just sets up a boss fight. That's your first boss right there of the story. It's awesome. I love it. And it sucks that it took 40-some minutes to get to something sweet. To get to the hallucinations of Gorville, it took 40 minutes too long, is what I'm getting at. From this moment on, though, it is kind of fun for a bit. Robbie now fully believes that he is his character, his cleric, Pardue? I think it's how you say it. And he leads them to break up with Kate. So he has his dream where Pardue's talking to him. And he has to break up with Kate. So he's telling him all this stuff in the dream. However, and he's completely willing 100%, but there's a part in the dream where he's telling him all this stuff. He's got to give up. He's got to do this and that. And then dream Purdue is you got to give up Kate. You got to maintain celibacy, which is the only point in the dream where he seems like he wants to fight it for a sec. So respect, brother. Hell yeah, dude. And then he starts drawing maps to a sacred place known as the Great Hall. And it tells him you need to go to the Great Hall. You need to go to the 2 towers. And then he disappears. He's gone. They don't know where he is. He disappears. I fucking love that the moment where they're you got to give up sex, and he fucking snaps and he's gone. So that's pretty good. That's funny. And once again, this proves that the creators and writers have no idea about D&D, because the biggest stereotypes is that, we're all a bunch of smelly virgins. D&D nerds are virgins. That's a big stereotype. And in this, it's man, you play so much D&D. You got to give up that. You got to give up that puss, bro. You got to give up the snatch if you want to be the holy man, Purdue. So now he plays so much Mazes and Monsters. He's drowning in poon. He's got to give that up to go to the Great Hall, to go to the 2 towers. And it is just funny that they're saying D&D players are having way too much sex, which is a problem that me and all my D&D buddies, we all dealt with. All of us. Oh man, we don't have time. We don't have time to delve into the underdark caverns because we're all getting laid. No, that's not a problem. That never happened. And there's so many women off screen right now just begging me. No, I can't. I can't have sex with you. I have to become a better adventurer. You don't understand. The dark halls need me. All right, sorry about that. So now Robbie, he is officially missing. He is MIC, missing in cavern, they believe. But it turns out he's actually MINY, missing in New York, much like Mike Sweetney, the number 9th pick in the 2003 NBA draft. Am I right, anyone? Okay, that one was just for me. So then his friends, they all go to the police to tell him that Robbie is missing and they believe that he is in the cavern, but they gotta leave out that they play Mazes and Monsters. So they're like, yeah, he's in the cavern. He doesn't play Mazes and Monsters. So I don't know why he was in there. Unless there's a McDonald's located in there. They just came back with the McRib. I don't know why else he'd be in there. So now we come back to the beginning of the movie where we have the detectives, we got the paramedics, anyone in the city that could possibly assist in any way is here at this cavern to find this kid. So we probably just left like hospitals full of dying people. No, bring the surgeons too. Bring all the doctors, all the surgeons, bring them all. We need everyone here at this cavern. So then the three end up trying to figure out like where the hell Robbie is. Like, where is he? They said he was going to the Great Hall. And then Kate is like, wait a minute, Hall? He went to the Hall & Oates concert. No, it wasn't. No, that's not what it was. The Great Hall. His brother's name was Hall, remember? Why else would they mention his stupid brother's name being Hall? So, of course, like, oh, he went to go find his brother. He disappeared in New York. Now, personally, I think it would have been a lot better if the Great Hall was, in fact, the Great Hall & Oates concert that night. And we cut to the front row of the concert. We see his friends, JJ and Daniel and Kate, are all singing Maneater front row. And then we cut to Tom Hanks, who jumps off the top of the World Trade Center, because that is where we're going with this movie. Spoiler alert, we're going to the World Trade Center. So all right, so we cut to New York. We see a sign where Slayer is playing Hell Yeah. They probably put that in just because the Satanic Panic, gotta have Slayer in there. But then we also have Wiener World. So hell yeah, shout out to Wiener World. We have Tom Hanks walking around like my toddler does right after he drank a full bottle and he's half asleep. I don't know why he's walking like this. I guess it's supposed to show that he's fucking schizophrenic now. I don't know. He stabs a mugger because he thinks he's fighting a monster, which is fucking awesome. It's horrible and tragic and also exactly how this movie thinks D&D works. Roll initiative, New York City. Tom Hanks is on the loose, just fucking gutting people with his knife. Hell yeah. Robbie then sees this knife covered in blood and he realizes what he has done. So he goes to the payphone to call Kate and he delivers this wonderful line.
I think I killed somebody. I know I killed somebody.
Which I imagine is like what Woody also says after realizing he pushed Buzz from that window. So then he tells the group, he's like, all right, we're going to go to JJ's house. And in a delusion, he instead going to JJ's house, he finds himself in the subway. He meets this crazy homeless dude, which is actually like this scene a lot. I like the way they talk back and forth. But he says he's Purdue Holy Man. And the homeless guy's like, I'm the king of France. And then Purdue gets like on his knees and like bows to him. I don't know. I like the scene a lot. I like how they interact with each other. However, he does not show up at JJ's house. And his friends are like, well, where the fuck is Robbie now? Oh my God, wait a minute, the Two Towers. We're in New York. He's gotta be at the World Trade Center. So now the group and Robbie, they all travel to the World Trade Center, and I have no idea why they felt the need to just film them in real time traveling up and down the World Trade Center, but that's how it feels. You watch them for like 10 minutes, go up and down escalators, walk past the same signs over and over. It didn't need to be this long, but that's like how this movie feels. It's like super long for like no reason, just completely unnecessary to be this long, but they're like, hey, we need to fill 10 minutes. Yeah, run up and down that escalator for a while. We'll film that. It'll be good. And now we get to the most infamous scene of this movie, not because it's scary, not because it's tragic or makes any sense or anything, but because Tom Hanks' character feels the only way to solve this problem in D&D is to jump off the fucking World Trade Center. So that's what they're going to do, which is like, no, that's not a solution to any D&D problem. If it was, that's just bad DMing. I wouldn't do that for treasure. I'm not jumping off for glory. I wouldn't do that unless Sydney Sweeney was at the very bottom looking up at me saying, roll for it, Kevin. Roll for it. And then, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I'm still going to ask what the falling damage is going to be. So everything about this scene is completely wrong. So Robbie believes that by jumping off this building, casting fly because he has spells, which you can't fucking fly, you cleric. But he says he's going to fly to the Great Hall. And his friends are like, no, you can't do that. You don't have enough points. Which, what are points? You don't have points? You don't have enough points to do that. Come on, man. If you had enough points, it would work. But you don't have the points. But at least we get this awesome scene out of it.
Robbie! Pardue, what are you doing?
Going to join the Great Hall.
You can't. It's a trap.
I have spells. I'm going to fly.
don't have enough points. I am the maze controller.
Maze control?
Yes. And I have absolute authority in this game.
Game?
Game.
JJ, what am I doing here? Kate, why can't I remember?
A friend you can turn to when cold winds blow, and then you'll know. But now and forever, we're friends.
And of course, that fucking song. We get this song once again, the Swiss Army knife of songs. They're pretty much like, yeah, you can play it for any occasion. You got a wedding? Play the song. A funeral? Play the song. Just gave birth to a child? Play the song. Your brother died? Play the song. You're at a mental health clinic? Did your friend jump off the World Trade Center? Did you give up sex to become a holy cleric? Play the fucking song. And what was the budget on this movie to where they could only have one song? Instead of Mazes and Monsters, they should have called this movie Song and Hats. So then the movie ends with a visit to 3 months later. They literally are like, oh, there's Purdue way over there. Here's the friends. Let's watch his friends walk to him for 30 seconds. I don't know why they keep doing that, but it's very annoying. So they visit Purdue and they learn that Purdue is still living as Purdue. He is no longer Tom Hanks. So in the end, Mazes and Monsters pretty much tells you that if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you will permanently lose your grip on reality. So cool. Very responsible. Great work. Good job, everyone. What a great message to send out. Roll some dice. Gain some schizophrenia. And if you're like in your 30s and your iDubbbz, you can also gain some empathy. So good for you guys. Good for everyone involved. And honestly, not to be like funny or cool, but I pray to God that this is how my life ends also. Like, I think it'd be awesome if like towards the end of my life, I just go fucking nuts and I think D&D is real and I can finally forever live out as my character, the Dwarven Ranger, Barneyvold Colehammer, the greatest courier in all the land. And there we have it. That is Mazes and Monsters. So yeah, Mazes and Monsters. Remember the name. Yeah, it's propaganda, it's clueless, blames dice instead of depression and mental health, but if you love D&D, watch it. It's a fun classic. Skip a lot of it, but yeah, it's kind of fun. But yeah, the movie is pretty much way too long for like nothing to happen. It could have been like a 45-minute long like TV movie, and I don't know, it probably would have been more entertaining at least. Horrible message, bad propaganda, but at least it could have been fun to watch, I guess. So alrighty, thank you so much for joining us on our journey to 50,000 subscribers. Just to let my dad know that I'm not a complete failure. We are almost there. Let me check the numbers. 61. So we only got like 50,000 or so more to go, but we're going to get there one day. And at least at the end of the day, we defeated Goreville. So that's all that matters. We defeated Goreville. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, leave a friendly comment, and help us destroy monsters at the local cavern like Goreville. All right.